Welcome to what is possibly the rarest watch on YouTube. I know I've looked, I can only find one more review going back years on this particular watch. What I also want to do in this video is just prove to you and show you why Zodiac are spot on with their current pricing based on information I've got from the 1960s and the prices they charge now. This little Zodiac Olympos Mystery dial, 36mm vintage watch, would have been $100 in 1962. How do I know that? Well, I have a classified ad that I'll show you from that time period, when these used to just be advertised in the paper. How does that compare with the current price of a Zodiac Olympos? Hello, welcome to The Perfect Wrist. My name is Paul, if you haven't been here before. This channel is all about my watch collecting journey, the ups and downs. Today we're talking Zodiac. And as soon as I saw the new range of Zodiac Olympos launched a couple of years ago, I was intrigued. Why? Because it's an unusual case shape that nobody else seems to do, a manta ray case shape, manta ray, and the design harks right back to this little vintage watch that I have on my wrist today. This is a 36mm, and naturally, because I had Zodiac Olympos as a search term on eBay, the algorithm started throwing up vintage examples, and I had no idea that this little mystery dial version existed. I wouldn't be surprised if Zodiac brings something like this back, because it's quite unique on the market and I knew nothing about it until I saw it. Let's take a little look. I'll tell you what I think about it, how the timekeeping's been. I actually love it. I have been absolutely and unbelievably categorically charmed by this little Zodiac. It's a 36mm. They were 36mm then, and you could come across a regular dial with the Olympos or this mystery dial, which I didn't know anything about. The mystery dial, basically, there isn't an hour hand. There is a disc that rotates with a printed hour hand on it. That's quite unusual, especially for the 60s. If this was brought out now, it would be all over YouTube. There'd be fanatical watch reviews about it. The other striking characteristic of the Zodiac Olympos, along with the current range, is this manta ray case shape. Again, I don't know of any other manufacturers that are doing that. So Zodiac are really worth looking at because of their innovation, their history. They along with Blancpain and Rolex, they launched the first dive watch in 1953. There was the three of them. One huge advantage that I hadn't expected about this watch is that I like it so much. It's so comfortable, it's so light, automatic, Swiss made, 50 years old, fair enough. But my point is, I'm now going to offload a few watches because I'd rather wear this than them. And sometimes when you find a little watch like this, it teaches you that as a collector. Don't forget there's playlists on my channel now. Seiko binge list, watch collecting as a hobby list, a little watch repair playlist, watch market playlist. All little things you can get lost in if you feel that Netflix is going off the boil a bit, or that your regular YouTubers are starting to get a little bit stale. Winter's coming, you can pass some time. Just have a look at the current Zodiac Olympos. You may be aware of these. You can see that there's two versions. There's one with the baton hands, and the other is a more field watch design with the Arabics. These are 38mm, the current range, I believe, and they come on straps. Here is a classified ad that I managed to find from 1962. And you can see that there were men's and ladies' examples. The ladies must have been tiny if the man's was 36mm. The size of it. It would have been a little automatic movement. Amazing. But, I'm getting distracted, sorry. They were $100. Now, in today's money, that's $1,000, just over. So, the average rate of inflation, I'm told by Google, is 3.8% for the last 63 years. Sorry, 63 years. $1,000 today, which is bang on what the current range of Zodiac Olympos are selling for. So Zodiac, as a watch brand, haven't gone crazy with the prices, inflation adjusted. They're pretty much spot on the way they always were. Taking a look at the case shape, this will be very similar to the current range, although more compact. That is such a curved shape to wrap around the wrist. That is such a curved case design to wrap around the wrist, isn't it? They just got it right, didn't they? In the 60s, 50s and 60s, they just got it right. And Zodiac were their own manufacturer. Not mentioned an awful lot these days. Zodiac were a pioneering, creative manufacturer. They're now owned by the Fossil Group, which is fair enough. They were bailed out at one point. There's a slight sector dial going on there with two different shades of steel. It's very legible. You know, the light does hit the markers and bounce off it. No loom, not now anyway. There was some on the hour and minute hand originally. That's long gone. The standard 60s, 70s style bracelet, spring fit, very comfortable. Does it look good these days in the 2020s? Who knows? I quite like it. It's got a slight diagonal style to it. We'll take it outside, see how it looks on wrist. But just before we do that, we'll actually see how it looks indoors. Quite exceptional, really. Because that sector, that two-tone dial, just caught my eye there. And look at the little 17 jewel movement. Le Loc Swiss, unadjusted at the factory. Have you noticed the regulator pin? A little bit different there, isn't it? Good quality. Well, thanks for watching. Just a lovely little example of what can be found on the vintage market. As always with vintage watches, don't rely on the water resistance. Don't be too troubled by the timekeeping. You've got your phone for that. But as a little item of jewellery for the wrist, these little gems can be found. So, good luck for the rest of the year with your collections, your own collections. I know there's a lot of consolidation going on, as there is here. I'll see you in the next video. It'll be along very soon.